Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. All right, Ben, we need to class it up a little bit. I've been drinking drinking a lot of bourbons that are not low class because I like all bourbon, but some bourbons just look better in the bottle than others.
I don't know what you've been drinking, but I have been drinking top tier bourbons nonstop. But we do have a nice bourbon with us tonight. It is Bam 1792 Bottled in Bond.
But it's wearing a yellow choker around the neck.
See, that's where it's going to cut. You're not used to the new format yet. Okay, so anyway, this is a Barton product, Barton 1792. So they have their main 4 releases that are available everywhere. They've got the small batch, single barrel, bottled in bond, full proof. And they've got a couple other ones.
They have a sweet wheat that I've never seen.
In a 12-year, and yeah, those just don't show up around here. Maybe they do in your area. But this one runs about 35 bucks.
Less than 40.
Yeah, yep. Around here anyway. I think that the 1792 products run a little more expensive in other places because around here for the 1792 full proof, 42 bucks is
42. So
about right on the money.
So the range is 30 to 42 kind of, for the 4 of them, I think.
Yep. And I think that we're getting a steal at 42 for the full proof because I don't think that that's what it's like in every market.
Right. And we found that this is a really available line. Just about every liquor store tends to carry them all most of the time. But they're really, really solid.
High rye mash bill. And that's really noticeable in this one.
You think so?
With the other 1792 products that I've had all 4 of them.
The 4 main.
Of the main ones.
Yeah.
I don't pick up on the high rye quite as much as I do on this one in particular, and I'm not sure why.
Wow. Yeah, I'm getting a weird grassy spice out of this one. And, and I don't know why, but I associate the high rye mash bill with a grass kind of note, almost like wet grass. Maybe it's just the fact I need to go mow my lawn.
That could be it. Let's go in for the taste here.
All right, here we go.
Tons of flavor.
Building interesting notes.
Do you know what I'm getting on this right now? Which I haven't gotten the last couple times I've had it?
No.
Is there's a cinnamon punch to it that reminds me of like Red Hots.
Wow.
Red Hots candy. Not getting that? Is that a strong disagree or you just don't like Red Hots?
I do like Red Hots. I will admit that they are
Are they a little too aggressive for you?
No, I like them, but I think not everybody does.
Oh yeah,
What's
controversial?
That? Controversial.
Okay.
Promise is only second review of the day. Yeah, second review of the day. But this one, I'm still not sure how to nail it down.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm definitely getting like that Red Hots. It's not like hot like Red Hots. I mean, it definitely has some heat to it.
A bit.
And some spice.
Yeah, but it's just like cinnamon without the spice.
Yeah, like that cinnamon, like Red Hots are a cinnamon flavored sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right? I think they're supposed to be cinnamon. Right?
There. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's got that kind of, or like a Big Red Gum sort of.
Big League, no, not Big League Chew, but Big Red Gum. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I haven't gotten it the last couple times I've had this, which is interesting.
But there's also an underlying spicy caramel.
I was just going to say there's caramel underlying that, yeah, for sure.
I think that's actually a thing. It's hard to find, but there's a spicy caramel, and I don't know how they make it spicy, but they add some sort of pepper to it.
I had no idea.
I think there is.
I've had Tabasco flavored chocolate before.
Yeah, the Tabasco is its own flavor.
But it's like a spicy, sweet thing.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly not bad. This is really good. the last couple pours I've had of this,
It does have an oily kind of note to it that kind of like blends some of the flavors together that I don't remember on the full proof or the other small batch ones.
I would say if you like even like a Four Roses single barrel, it's usually around $44 around here. This for maybe $10 cheaper is a good in the same ballpark. Or if you're just looking to explore that profile, but from a different distillery.
Yeah, I would agree.
The Four Roses is a more rye forward.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more. So I think there's kind of a two sides of the same coin where this one is maybe a tad smoother, and I don't say that as a negative, but the flavors kind of work together, but then none of the flavor spikes are really like prominent.
Right.
Where Four Roses has a few more spikes.
Yeah, the rye is
harsh,
definitely a spike. Yeah,
but
for sure.
you may actually like that harshness more. This one is a little bit more approachable.
But it definitely has an edge to it, for sure. You know,
Then it's
get
got
that
good
sharpness
proof on the
to
finish.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, all of these are really good. But I feel like this one's, okay, so here's my thing. Like, with the small batch in particular that I remember, like I was saying, I don't really get the rye punch quite as much on it. And the full proof, I don't really get, like the full proof, I get way more, like, candies and caramels and stuff like that.
It's more like just an interesting bourbon, where it's got lots of really...
I almost feel like maybe... I mean...
You can't blend one bourbon.
Well, that's true, but I feel like we should try the full proof. Now, we've already done a review way back in the day when we first started this channel. We did the small batch with the full proof. And at some point, maybe we'll do full proof on its own because it's an exceptional... Or you can pour as much as you want.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
That works. Thank you.
125 proof on this one, as that is their full barrel entry proof. So, I'm gonna do the bottle and bond real quick one more time.
Just did that one, so give this a minute to age.
Yeah, I didn't freshly rinse that glass. I mean, it's clean, but.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, that's just caramel and brown sugar and
Caramel, brown
toffee,
sugar, coffee,
almonds.
graham cracker crust.
Yeah, it's just everything sweet.
Took a second. I wonder if it's just because I had to, like, it was like I was done drinking it and they still hadn't got anything
Yeah,
yet.
it takes, there's like a delayed fuse on it.
Yeah.
Just
then
off of
it's
that first sip, I would not really guess that that's the foolproof version of this. This is a very different flavor profile to me.
Yeah, I agree. This one, it drinks different. I feel like it's more the density and the oiliness of this one that's surprising.
It's kind of hard to go back to the 100 proof after 125, but I'm going to do it.
This almost has a minty quality.
Really? It's an interesting one. I mean, now that you mention it. So, yeah, this one definitely has more of a rye flavor profile.
I think so, yes.
Where I'm not really getting tons of rye off of it. If you just gave me this blind, I wouldn't guess high rye on it.
Nope, you just
this
guess
one I definitely
higher
would.
proof.
Yep.
But yeah, the rye sneaks in.
God, that's just such a good bourbon.
It is.
For $42, that's just one of the best on the market, value-wise.
I think this one's good, but I don't love it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's a little bit muted on a bunch of flavors. I think this one's more interesting.
Now, at $35, this is a good,
Yep,
if you like the
definitely.
high rye that's not quite so aggressively high rye, it's just kind of, it blends well together, like you were saying before. Like the flavors are all kind of at the same level, except that rye comes out a little bit higher, but it's not a sharp edge.
Yep.
All right, we're doing it. Go with the blend here.
Benny Walker Special.
So 125 proof and then 100 proof. So this is 225 proof.
225 proof, 101.5 liter.
Yeah. That's just like the best of both worlds,
But
right
still
there.
only $36.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. On that first sip,
Still not getting it. Huh.
I'm getting the rye off of this one.
I'm getting the rye, but I'm also getting like the oily, which is really muting the flavors of this one.
It's almost like the 100 proofer this is a David versus Goliath thing here.
Yeah, I'm not, this one is, I expected the alcohol to cut through some of that oiliness, and not yet. And when I say oily, I don't mean there's actual oil in it. It's just like a feeling on your tongue that kind of feels like oil.
That's really good, but I feel like this whole blend just amplified the rye flavor, and it kind of cut down the sweetness of this.
Yeah.
It's there, but it's not winning.
I agree. Like, I actually think, I mean, we've done this blend thing for a number of reviews now, and typically they work out well. I don't think this one worked out well, because we both love this bourbon, and I think it's less good blended with this.
Less good. I like that. That's what we're gonna go with. You know, I totally agree. Like, I would rather
Drink
just
that
drink this on its own.
as opposed to.
And this is really good. I like I like this one, but it does have. This shows up on a lot of lists of like best pours for around a certain price.
Yeah, for
around
$35 kind of thing. Sure.
Yeah. I think there are better ones, but I really do like the whole 1792 lineup.
I do.
for sure.
I do too.
But I think the Bottle and Bond maybe stands out as that most rye-forward one, and it's definitely showing in the fact that we blended it with a 125 proof version of itself, and the rye still stood out. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's almost
Weird.
gone to like a clove, weird kind of flavor.
Yeah,
It's, I don't know, there's something about this that
a borderline medicinal quality to it
Yeah.
in the blend.
mildly off-putting. So that's totally on us for blending two bourbons that maybe didn't belong to be blended, but
Really good bourbon.
it is.
I like those cinnamon notes I was getting at, 'cause I like a cinnamon forward bourbon.
Sure.
But I don't always get that from this one, so it's kind of hit or miss. Absolutely outstanding, one of the best on the shelf for the price. Very tough to beat with the 1792 full proof.
Totally agree.
All right, well, this has been some 1792 action on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Thanks for watching. Cheers.